Dangerous here, and the next band up is a band from Norway called Eunomia. They're listed as symphonic power metal and have one album out. But before I get into that, I just want to mention the lyrics in the story. And I know from experience how challenging it is to convey your story and translate that story into the lyrics and making it fit while presenting your tale appropriately with like the atmosphere of the music. I just think Eunomia does a fantastic job. And let's get into the album, The Chronicles of Eunomia, Part 1. This one, I really feel like the story comes to life right off the bat with Crystal Sword, and it's amplified not only by the epic symphonic power, but the mega voices that are the guests. I mentioned on my last video, the guests singers on this song from Sebastian Chabot and Andrew Skold from Vianity. These are two of my favorite power metal singers. I just wanted to throw those two guys in there. Coincidentally, I've covered both of those bands. But this album has tons of guests, and I'll be mentioning that. And they do a fantastic, Anders and Seb do a fantastic job on Crystal Sword. And I feel like Crystal Sword is a great song to open up the album with, and then you got Freedom Call. This, I really feel like the tone and tempo really help their narration slide nicely into the song and deliver a very needed spoken sort of part not sung message. And I find that very crafty. Sometimes you need narrations, and they do an awesome job on this, and I feel like Freedom Call needed that narration, as they do sort of flowing throughout, and neither really take away from each other as well. Glory of the King is the next song I want to mention. This has a chorus that just is tremendous build, and I love the courageous tone. The drums and the guitars really drive the force, uplifting the energy, and the solo carries those emotions over with vigor and gusto. Then you got Francisco Cavalieri soaring like an eagle, boosted even higher by the choir, and making this song super and mighty. The next song is my must listen. I love this song, We Will Not Surrender. This has so much hope and faith vocally and musically, and opens with such trepidation to the lyrics, and that message is delivered very well by Peter Danielson, Marius Danielson, and Alessandro Conti. Their delivery has so much great passion, as I feel a lot of heart and soul arduously ascend to the never say die power of the mighty verse, with grand orchestrations, a march to war on the drums, war chants, and all just culminating to a majestic chorus full of conviction and a brilliant hook. This song closes even mightier. I just really love this song. It's just tremendous, and I love all the collaboration of vocals on We Will Not Surrender, and that's why it's my must listen to. So be sure to go in the description below to check for that. He's going to throw his thumb in there. I'm going to try to... The next song I really love. This is a great follow-up track, March for Freedom. This is the drums do a phenomenal job of creating different emotion in the verses and throughout with the creative techniques and tempo. Then you got Henning Basse, who comes on like a rising force, leading the charge with his powerful vocals, and he just really elevates the song. Henning Basse is on 2 tracks on this album. I love his guest work. Like I said, there's so many guests. It's uncanny. They're all listed in the book too. It's awesome to follow. And one thing I want to mention of March for Freedom, though, is I love the sweet little lick after the first verse here, just heart-throbbing. And speaking of sweet licks, you jump into Eternity. This song opens up with a great one. Also contains our gargantuan chorus, composed with amazing orchestrations here, and the vocals and choir as well. And this song just only seems to gain power. I love the power of this song. And then we move on to... well, it's not the closing track, but it essentially feels like a closing track to me. Dangerous Times Ahead. This certainly carries that tone of Dangerous Times Ahead with the tempo and the way the drums sort of march along with the bass. Very Stradivarius-esque, I feel. I love this type of momentum. They're very commanding. It has such a commanding atmosphere. And later on in the song, you get this plethora of depth and layers, tempo shifts and energy and emotion. There's just, it's so grand of a section. Lots to enjoy, lots to soak up. I really love Dangerous Times Ahead. You can probably tell I love the Chronicles of Eunomia Part 1. It was great. I love all the music primarily written by Peter Danielson with his brother in there, Marius. Marius does Legend of Valley Doom. It's another fantastic project with lots of guests. This is all very unique. I love how the guests come on and they really fit their part. These guys really know how to build music around guys, or add the musicians to the music very, very well. The music to Eunomia really brings a lot of highs and lows of emotions, like honor. You got triumph, pain, and defeat. They bring all these emotions to life with vocals that are very elevating those emotions tremendously. The narrations, like I said, are flawlessly slotted in there. I can't say too much more about this, but I really enjoy Chronicles of Eunomia. Can't wait for the next album. I believe it's in the works. And one thing I want to mention though is down in my more metal content section, I'm going to be having some other bands that have done stories that convey the stories really well through lyrics and music as well. So I just want to let you know, if you're interested in that type of stuff, to head down below. Check out all the links for Eunomia as well. I'm keeping going on, but that's because I gotta get ready for the Orcs and the Eunomia there and beat their asses. I think that's about it, folks. So until next time, happy listening.